I don't do intros either.
Really, just like kind of like get into it.
I don't like to be like, "What's up, guys? It's your boy, back at it again with a,"
No, yeah, that makes sense.
I'm just gonna, we here with Curlycocoanut today, Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Gotta get behind the scenes. Oh wait, we're going now.
I mean, yeah, I just hopped right into it. And it's no skips.
I was like, oh shoot, okay, bet. All right.
I've only met you. I think I've only seen you 3 times in my life.
Yeah, I was.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
I was thinking about it. I was like, the mall, Made in America, the mall.
Yeah,
And that's it.
Yeah. Holy shit. It's so weird too, because I definitely, like, again, seen you only 3 times, but like I consider you a friend because like we've seen each other so much on like social media. Yeah. So I love that though. Love that type of like, you don't really need to do too much to like be friends type thing. Yeah.
I don't because everyone's like, you gotta talk to me every day.
Yeah.
You gotta hit me up every day.
No.
I don't do that.
No.
I'm just like, I want to be home.
Yeah, I am like literally physically incapable of like talking to someone constantly. Even like my closest friends, like my boyfriend, like I cannot talk every single moment of like the day,
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So
it's crazy.
I think the reason why I really, because you are the homie, and I like to just talk to the homies.
For sure.
But another really great reason why is because like a lot of people want to like model and they want to be an ambassador and stuff, but they just don't know how to like get things started. And I'll be seeing you with the Spencers. Well, and what was it? What were you like doing like for Timberland, right?
So I'm an ambassador for Timberland and La Roche-Posay, which is like a skincare company that's under like L'Oreal.
Mhm.
I'm also an ambassador for like the apartment I live in, and then also for like a smaller sustainable clothing brand that my friend like is single-handedly running. And I might get a partnership with Wonder Spaces, actually.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's in the works. I have to respond to their email, but yeah, so
you gonna be on the cover like looking at all those lights.
All the lights, looking through the lights. Oh my god. No, seriously. Yes, they actually low-key tested me because they just like again like DM me and they were like, hey, would you like free tickets to come to like our exhibits? And they didn't even have to say like, can you make content? I just kind of knew it was like insinuated, you know what I mean?
It was just like,
yeah, except we're giving you this, so maybe yeah. And so that test, like I actually did put together like a pretty like time-consuming like collage and stuff like on my Instagram stories.
Mhm.
I still have like a post set up, like took lots of pictures and videos there, and they really enjoyed it. And then that's when they're like, hey, we might actually want you for like affiliate program, this and this. So yeah, that kind of again like that felt like a little trial, and I feel like I was able to like pass it by like putting in the effort and stuff. So
how is it to like, because I know you probably get offered a lot of stuff, but like what it is though.
Yeah.
So like, how is it to like get offered something? Like, do you ever feel pressure to like post, or like you ever feel pressure to just like share? Because you know the end goal is to like, we need this content on,
Yeah. It's so weird. It's becoming like very secondhand to me. So I guess my biggest advice too, if someone wants to be like a brand ambassador, content creator, it kind of has to feel like secondhand nature for you to post up like, whatever you're doing. Or again, like don't be afraid to take pictures or videos of your friends, like when you hand them out like premiums or something, or like promote X, Y, and Z. Like I remember like not way back then, maybe like months ago, I remember you asked like an interesting question on my Instagram story, like, do you feel pressure to like, post your life at all? And honestly, like I just did it for funsies. Like I just kind of like I've done that since like freshman year of college. So like 4 years ago on my Snapchat, I would post up like, I don't know, silly things my friends were doing or whatever. And it slowly turned into content because people would be like, oh my God, like your stories are so funny, or like they're so entertaining. And then I slowly
take some lotion.
And so I transitioned from like Snap to Instagram because I noticed like Instagram was like cleaner. Snap definitely is for the more like chaotic stuff, which is still fun, but like I just don't have the capacity for it anymore. And again, next thing you know, I started posting more of my life like on Instagram stories and stuff, and like it just like again, it will still generate conversation. So it just like again like naturally happened. And the only annoying thing now with being with brands is of course, I mean, like, of course you have to be on a schedule because like they're paying you. But I noticed like, of course, ads get like really bad engagement. You know what I mean? So I don't want to post like 2 ads back to back, like on my feed, because obviously I'm not trying to be like an ad bot. You know what I mean?
Everybody's like, you sold out.
No, seriously, it was like, bro, like, if you had
What's
a
wrong
check,
with you now?
seriously, I mean, you do it for a check too. Like, I mean, it's just everyone's like hustling and stuff. And luckily, a lot of my followers are like mutuals, so it's people that like are like very supportive and like vice versa. So like I again like follow them back. Like a lot of them are Temple students and stuff. So I got a lot of comments being like very encouraging and being like, oh my god, like congratulations and X, Y, and Z. But then when I was talking to a few other friends, like this other brand ambassador and another friend that like used to make content, I was telling them about like, damn, like these like sponsored posts, like they made the same amount of impressions as like my regular one, and it got like it was like the least like photo, like the Timberland one was the least like photo I've had like all year. And I don't really like, I don't thrive off of like the likes, you know what I mean? But when you see like a shift in your like analytics, it's just like a number game. You're kind of like, so like what did go wrong? And then it's just interesting to me. But then turns out like a lot of people had the consensus of like people hate to see you win, and I'm like, whoa, 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 that ain't never happened to me, because I feel like I've always been surrounded by like pretty like cool people. So it was just like kind of like a initial shock to me of like damn, okay, noted, like you know what I mean? Like I wasn't like distraught, but it just kind of was like a
get some haters.
Yeah. So literally that mental note of like, okay, that's how it's gonna be. And again, so I definitely I'm like almost like focused more on like posting more like casual content. So again, I could still keep like my own brand of like, hey, this is just me for funsies, you know what I mean? Again, for instance, like La Roche Posay, like I just posted for them. And that post was like due to them by 11:59, like Sunday night. And then they want another feed post due like tonight. And I'm like, well, when do I have to post this? Because like I'm really not trying to do like back to back. Because like I said earlier. But yeah, I don't know. But just posting other stuff in general, like it just came second nature. And I think the biggest advice too I have for people wanting to like model or become a brand ambassador, all I really do is put myself out there. Like kind of like again, secondhand nature. Like I used to just do photo shoots with my friends. I was always low-key into fashion since like high school, and like same thing with makeup. But I would never take pictures of myself until my one friend, Sophia, who was like literally like I was a senior and she was like a freshman. Like she was the coolest like freshman I ever met. She was like, oh, like my older sister was a photographer, so I used to like do photo shoots with her all the time. So photo shoots with your friends are super fun.
Yeah.
And so she put me onto that wave of like, oh, if you have a nice fit or you're liking your makeup look, like fuck it, like go for it. Like get your friends, like find a cute spot, like use your sense of creativity and like just make whatever for fun.
Because that picture could go a very long way.
Yeah, and I didn't even think about it like that back then. And then also like when I got into college too, it felt like I was like not entirely like pressed for photos, but I did like at that point I was like I like taking photos. Like if I look good and if I like this setting, etc., like I'm gonna try to get a good photo. Yeah. And then again that turned into like all of a sudden friends that happen to be photographers started reaching out to me being like, hey, like do you want to do like a photo shoot for me and stuff? And so and then again going from like friends with just like your phone to like friends who happen to be photographers taking pictures of you, that low-key created my portfolio on my Instagram without me even knowing. And then I think the biggest turnaround for me was honestly like Philly Create actually, because
I was going to talk about that too.
Yeah.
They're on your page heavy.
Yeah, oh my god. I mean like it's so weird. Like no one told me at gunpoint to say this. Like they were an ambassador for them.
I be seeing you with the bags, like
no, yeah, for real. No, but like yeah, they actually did like really start like my modeling career. And I used to like talk to my mom about it before, being like, dang, like kind of apply for agencies, or I even like did a few like modeling recruitment stuff like back in high school. But just like a lot of it like fell through. But then with Philly Create, like I remember I just saw my friend Shantae, who like she's a great creative. She does like photography and modeling too. And she was at one of the Philly Create events, and I was like, oh my god, like what is that? Like that's so cool. Everyone's just like making content outside like together. Like okay, cool. So I go to Philly Create's Instagram. I like a few of their pictures and I follow them, and I expected nothing, nothing in return. I was just like, okay, I gotta get in on this event next time. But next thing you know, like they like a bunch of my pictures and they follow me back, and then I get a DM from them being like, hey, do you want to do like a shoot for like our photo shoot bags?
They worked fast.
Oh yeah, like they saw me and then instantly were like, oh shoot, wait, like again, low-key having like my portfolio up, they seemed to like it, and that's how I got recruited for that that cover shoot that they still have like up on their website and stuff. And Sam, who's like the main like photographer and creative director of like Philly Create and stuff, he was super, not even just like nice and kind, but I mean like he made sure to make me feel safe.
Yeah.
He even brought along a close friend of his that is like another female, and she actually lived in like the same building as me. Turns out we have like a mutual friend from like way back home. And not only did it make me feel like safe about like literally driving with them to like UPenn to like go take these pictures of people I like just met, but he was also giving me a lot of like advice and also told me like, by the way, when we post you up, like a lot of people are gonna start hitting you up. Like it's really gonna like start going.
You're gonna be a star, kid.
Oh my God. Dude, and essentially they're like, yeah, it's gonna like blow you up. And they said like, and then don't hesitate to reach out for us if like a photographer hits you up and you're like, you don't know how you feel about them. We can definitely like, again, if we don't know how they are, we can ask a bunch of other models that we know how the photographer is. And yeah, so like, ironically too, when those photos came out, I thought I looked awful.
Really?
I thought, yeah, I looked at them, I'm like,
and you still posted them, like
God.
crying, just
crying. No, it's funny because you know how it just happens, but it works. I let posts like sit around for a while because I usually have like kind of like an archive or like just like a lot of photos like backed up from like months ago that I haven't gone around posting yet. Because even before the modeling stuff, even before like the brand ambassador stuff, I actually did know like, okay, this is the posting window that I want to do like during the week. And if I miss that post, like I'm in the middle of the day, I just remembered, oh, I wanted to post today. I'm not going to force it because, you know, I want as many people to see this as possible. Not even in the sense of like, I want all the likes. It's more of like, I look good. You need to see this. And that is all. Thank you. And so, yeah. But yeah, I let those sit for a few months because I happen to have like other pictures, I think, that either, again, I was like posting or again, like I probably was going through like not posting for a few weeks, etc. Just by nature because, you know, life's crazy. And then by the time I did finally post them though, like I had like friends look at it and they're like, oh my God, like, whoa, like I love this picture specifically. I'm like, whoa, like really? Like I hated that picture. Like, and not even because of like the creative team, like it looks great. It was just like me. Cause I think when you start modeling, you already have this perception of like, this is what I should look like in these photos, right?
Yeah.
But you really like, even with all the like the photo shoots I've done with all my friends and stuff, you really got to get used to like what you like really look like. You know what I mean?
Because now like you think everybody's looking at you.
Yeah, for sure. Like, especially like, not just like with that photo shoot, but then the next like Philly Create events. I know the Juneteenth one was actually like disclosed one. Like it was like Black creatives only, and again, so it was basically like a list, and he threw me in as one of the featured models after that first shoot. But I remember like being so nervous, and also like when a photographer would start taking pictures on like my bad side, and I'm like, like this side, maybe, yeah. But
ma'am, why are you turning that way?
Wait, no, turn around. But over time, I realized it's just like I needed to like work on loving my bad side. You know what I mean? Because like photographers up to like even now like will still take pictures of that side and like we'll post it up and like we'll be in love with it. And I think like, damn, I look kind of uggo, but like okay, but like they like it, and I think like I should definitely like it too. You know what I mean? Not just because they like it, but it's like I should like, you know, fully love like, you know, every angle, bad lighting, etc. Like my last post is actually like makeup free, etc. Like not that I'm like afraid of like going makeup free. It's just like I don't really got eyebrows, and that's like the one thing that bothers me. But yeah, and the also Juneteenth event was like so nerve-wracking because I kid you not, it was my first Philly Create event, and it was like again like a closed one. Everyone seemed to know what they were doing, and I was like, the dress I was put in by Katie Collections, like oh my God, like it was gorgeous. I just felt like I was like, am I like rocking this enough? You know what I mean? Like, because everyone else like got like jewelry too, and I like just had the dress with like a red lip that like kind of went with it, but like it was just like whatever. And I was like, oh, like I don't know if I'm like really feeling myself like that, just because like I don't know if I'm enough for this dress. And I also got more nervous when it was like, okay, everyone like all the other models are having photographers like flock to them. do I really gotta like go up to one and be like beg for pictures? But it's kind of like how it works though. It's not even like begging for pictures. It's like you're here to create, so like just do it and create. Like it doesn't care, or it doesn't matter if you think like, oh my god, everyone hates me, or everyone thinks I look ugly, or like etc. It's not about that. It's just again like those models happen to like know the photographers, or like maybe they did have a look that the photographers like wanted to go to, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't like get those pictures as well, or get that content, or like get that exposure.
By the way, guys, this video is sponsored by Philly Create.
No, really, it's like literally have this video. Oh my god, but
they're gonna like come through the window.
No, yeah.
Like, yes.
Yes. No, for real. Oh my god, but that definitely. And then it's funny because in that event turned around when I put on the outfit that I brought that I thought like went with the theme. Because at first it was like the designers, and then also like your fit that you think's like think goes with like the Juneteenth theme. And of course, like I was so used to again like styling myself and like having my own sense of style. So like my confidence shot up when it was like me and like what I was wearing, because I knew that like, okay, I wore this, like, you know I look good in this. I have like a vibe with it, like whatever. Yeah. And that's actually like most of my photos from Juneteenth that I did post. Most of them were like in that outfit, just because I was like feeling myself more, you know.
Yeah. How is so like I'm a photographer, right? Yeah. But I'm not like a photographer with a bunch, like I'm not a photographer with like a makeup and designers. Yeah. And like how is it like when you do casual shooting with people that you know compared to like shooting for a brand? Like is there more pressure? Like is it like, would you say that it's better for you, or like how is it? Like what's a normal shooting day like?
Shoot. Okay. So I think with my friends, like I know a good amount of Instagram pictures are still actually like from photos with friends. My roommate has like a really nice digital camera. With friends, it's pretty like it's just like almost like automatic, where it's like you kind of know, you kind of like my roommates and I take pictures together all the time essentially, so we kind of know like what we usually tend to like, what angles we usually like. I know that like when I did that shoot for like La Roche-Posay, like with my roommate, I mean it was like speed around because it was like the night that it was due, and I was able to do it so fast with my roommate because we just same wavelength. Yeah, you just know. And like not just that too, but like obviously like it's just like your friend, like you're not afraid to be like, okay, like can we like change up this angle, whatever. You know, I've shot with like a lot of photographers that like have been like, hey, like let me know if you want like a change in angle, or like if you want pictures over here, etc. But with friends, it definitely is like more autonomous and more like almost like you're still like very much like directing in a sense. And
what was your worst? Did you have a worse experience yet?
Oh, thank God, no. Oh, thank God, no. Oh my God, the closest thing maybe to a worse experience. Okay, so it was even before like this whole like before I became like a freelance model like officially. I had a photographer that was actually from my hometown hitting me up for like, oh my God, what's starting like a year or two ago. Mm-hmm. And I kid you not, like we both were super busy, which is totally understandable. Remember like there was like either 3 or 2 times where like I scheduled with him and it was like canceled day of. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And it was like, I'm like, bro, like I love this photographer and like he's really cool. Like, we're from the same hometown, like whatever. But after like reaching out like 2, 3 times and literally having something scheduled and then having it canceled, I was like, damn. But like by the time we actually did link up though, like it was all good. Got really fire pictures. I told him to take time with the editing because like it took me a long time to like look through all of the photos, pick which ones I like. So I'm still waiting on those from this past summer, but it's really like not a rush because like I have a bunch of other photos too. I have some of the like the raw photos that I like sometimes send to like people, but yeah. That I guess that's the worst experience so far. Definitely like, you know, I vibe check like really hard, low key. Like with you, I remember like at the mall and stuff. Like I could tell you were chill. You were with your friends. Like
yeah, I forget who I was with that day. And you were, I know you were with a photographer, and because you posted it that same day.
Actually, that used to be one of my close friends. So it was just like that was my camera that I had from like my parents.
Oh, that was yours.
Yeah, it was my camera back then, and yeah, like my friends and I, even like him, like we all just got accustomed to be like, let's do photo shoots like here and there, and like did it for funsies. So
that's good though.
Yeah, it like really helps like me get used to everything. So
Do you think that there are any lessons or anything that you learned, like, not as like a model, but like as a person, like from your career path?
Oh, wow.
We getting into
We getting real deep. Yeah, it's like definitely having that grounded sense of self. Because like I am like right now in like the easy part of the industry, not gonna lie. Like Philly Crate again, like is generally like such a nice
Philly
atmosphere.
Create.
I know, and then like all the other photographers too that I've been with, like super nice. Like I had my first catwalk, and that was the closest thing to like it being like, oh, this is like the industry. You know what I mean? Where like um they were more blunt. You know what I mean? Also more like, you know, like they're here to do their thing. They don't give a fuck. Like you need to be on top of your shit. And I mean, I got thrown into it, by the way. So I didn't know what I was doing. I was totally giving off newbie vibes. I didn't get to actually practice on a walk. Like I did it twice at like 3 a.m. and like based off YouTube videos. Yeah, and I basically like a photographer recruited me for that. So like I was just sending him the videos. Like I didn't even know the designer. Everyone else knew the designer, and I was like, oh my god, how do you know Orlando? And I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Orlando.
Orlando. I'm like, hello. But like yeah, and but luckily again, like that whole sense of self thing, like I really started actually like solidifying my self-confidence in like in high school and stuff. I did the fake it till you make it route. I was just like, fuck it, like I'm just really gonna like act like, you know, that it's all good. It wasn't even like really putting on a front. It was just more of like I low key back then without even realizing, like kind of like manifested like kind of like loving myself type thing. I mean, there's like different levels to loving yourself, but I'm basic surface level because even that was like broken like in middle school because middle school, yeah, such a great time.
Yay!
Oh, yeah. But yeah, so like, and then throughout college too, that self confidence actually became even more solidified, like on like deeper levels. And so again, by the time of like that catwalk event, like this summer, when they'd be like, oh shit, like you're short. And I'm like, yeah, it is what it is. I'm still, no, exactly. Yeah, like I still was like, they were just making, they weren't even being like offhandedly like rude. They were actually just making blunt comments and stuff, which again didn't shake me like whatsoever. I mean, like I'm also one of the kids who like whose dads coach them in like every single sport that I was like in back then. So like I am used to very much like getting very like, you know, coming off like mean or like getting yelled at for something, etc. But like for a specific craft. So like again, all my sports, my dad used to like become coach like during our practices. Yeah. But then he turned back to dad. Yeah, no, for real.
Dinner's at 6, honey.
No, exactly. He used to, it was like such like an on and off switch in that low key, like mentally, it didn't work too well for me. Like my brother reacted to it differently. For me, it was more of like it was like whiplash. I was like, yo, like you just like yelled at me for like 30 straight minutes and now like you're like treating me to ice cream, like what's good? I don't know what's going on.
Milkshakes?
Milkshakes, yeah, like okay. No, but yeah, like I guess like also with that training, like over the course of like from elementary school to like high school, I also like began to like learn the whole like, all right, take everything with a grain of salt. Like don't soak in everything. My dad definitely taught me that because he wouldn't even mean like half the shit he'd say. You know what I mean? So it definitely gave me thicker skin. Although like with him, it's still like touchy because it's like it's my dad. But like with anyone else, it's like oh, okay, like whatever. You know what I mean?
You're not my dad.
No, you're not my dad. Literally that vine is a mood. Yeah. But yeah. So that's the biggest thing I learned is really just having a sense of self, and also again being able to like take in constructive criticism and like constantly work on yourself.
That's a big one though.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because people just that like I was saying, like I'm a photographer and I'll just be like, maybe you can like not do that. And they're just like, fuck you. Like I hate you. And be like, I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. It'd be hard.
Oh
It'd be
my
hard.
God.
No, but do you think that so you were talking about how like you just kind of just did without kind of like being specific as to like analytics and stuff. Do you think that there's a calculated way to become something that you want to be? Like in the field of being creative.
Yeah. Oh wow. I really think it's like yes and no. I think the whole like process of becoming a creative and like working on your craft can be something that's like very calculated, etc. But then everything else about being a creative is just being creative. It's like such like a hard creativity is such like a hard thing to just keep on and grasp and like also like constantly utilize, because it's something that's so like free flowing and just like it's not as like concrete as like I'm an engineering major, right? Like I've had to do like a lot of math, physics. It's not like physics just like comes and goes from my mind. You know what I mean? It's like, no, like I gotta remember like what the hell. No, yeah. I gotta remember like these like density equations or like whatever. It's like it's very calculated, even like not just the process of like studying for it, but also executing it itself. But like with creativity, you can be again very calculated in the way you like build yourself up, or like again with maybe like trying to get yourself out there on social media. Yeah, you do need to look into the analytics. What's the best posting time? What's your audience like? And then again, maybe for like stuff like this, I mean like investments. So like getting like a membership here is also like something you need to like calculate. So again, the process itself, like for sure, I think like sometimes it is like nice to like really like calculate that kind of stuff, but also like sometimes it just stuff happens.
Yeah, because there's no in between. There's always like someone who's like, all right, so like 9 plus this is this, but then there's always the people like, man, I'm just gonna go with the font.
Yeah, like, it's actually so weird because like I'm very much like the first person, like the whole like, you know, I gotta do like this and this, or like I especially like used to be like such like a huge like planner like in advance. Like I would like plan everything like for like my friends' birthdays, or like if we'd go out somewhere, like I was the one meticulously like putting this and this together. Or even back in high school when I used to like have birthday parties, even I literally would like, you know how in like FIFA when you like have your team and you look at like the chemistry between people and like the lines are like green, yellow, or red.
That's crazy. Yeah. Because I didn't think that you would start talking about FIFA. Everybody's like, you know how like in 2K, how you like.
Okay, yeah.
FIFA's an underrated game though.
It's so weird. Like I grew up with soccer, like 100%. I wasn't as into basketball and I never got to get into it as much. So like, and I was also like kind of like into video games. It was like a weird limbo of like, I love video game culture and I love all of these, but like I have immense burnout with like games where like I used to be such a stressful kid. Like I was too stressed to like play games because like, I mean, if I got like a D in Cooking Mama like on my DS, I would like stop playing for the day. I'd be like, yo, fuck this game. I cannot do this.
Keep burning.
Yeah, like I'll literally be fine. Or like I remember when I finally got like an RPG game like on my DS, and like I kept getting stuck at this one place, and I'm like, fuck this. I can't do it. It's too stressful. I'm not having fun. And then by the time I got older and realized like, damn, I really want to keep playing video games. It was like, damn, I'm kind of ass. Like, I did not get that training. And it would take a lot of hours. Like, when I started playing Call of Duty again with my brother, like in high school, I was like getting good again, but it was like the whole consistency is key thing. Like, once I got busy again with like school and sports and everything else, and like I wouldn't touch it for like a month, it's like back at square one, you know? Yeah. So yeah, there's like, it's definitely like in betweens, like with that kind of stuff for me. So again, with like being calculated with stuff, like, again, with like, okay, sure, like the content I'd make, I just be like, again, this for funsies, like whatever. But also like during the process though, I'm also telling my friends like, okay, wait, no, like this angle, like over here, with like make sure this section's part of the picture, make sure this background's part of the picture, because I had a vision for it. And but even then, like to execute it though, like, or the process of it was calculated, and then posting was calculated. But getting into modeling and like into like brand ambassadorships, it just was like, again, it was like secondhand because I was putting that work in. Honestly, again, like just because I wanted to, it then created stuff that like put me out there. And I kid you not, like not even, this isn't even like a brag or anything, but I kid you not, like every opportunity is just like fallen into my lap. But the thing is, when you realize though, like, well, I did like X, Y, and Z though that like put me out there, and you know, like looking back at all like the work I just like happened to do, it's like, okay, like it makes sense. But for other people though, I know people who will do like the same thing, but then like not have stuff fall in their lap, right? Because I mean, also like a lot of this sometimes is like luck. I definitely recommend just going out there, like literally like hitting people up, hitting brands up, hitting photographers up, like just also is another way of getting yourself out there.